Hey guys, welcome back to Sarah Art. I'm Sasha, and in today's video, we're going to be designing some new starter Pokemon. In my last video, I think my intro went on a little bit too long, so we're going to get right into it. And remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed today's video. Let's get into the first design. And the first Pokemon I designed was Fillyshore, the water-type starter. Fillyshore, the Kelpie Pokemon, possesses an uncanny ability to sense the intentions of others. Its timid nature keeps it cautious, often retreating from unfamiliar situations. Despite its shyness, Fillyshore harbours a gentle spirit attuned to the ebb and flow of emotions around it. Fillyshore's name comes from Filly, meaning a young horse, and shore, like by the sea. My process for this line started out with the idea of the Kelpie, which is a mythical water horse in Scottish folklore. And by taking the word kelp from its name, I tried to incorporate a seaweed-like element into its design. For the first evolution, I tried to keep it babyish, with large and chunky features. And although I knew I wanted the evolved forms of this starter Pokemon to have a more menacing vibe, I wanted to keep the cute starter vibes you get from all starter Pokemon. I decided to give the back half of the Pokemon a fish or eel-like tail and fin, while keeping only the front half like a horse. I feel like this separates this Pokemon from other similar horse-like Pokemon. Fillyshore has base stats of 310, with a focus on special attack and speed. Fillyshore comes with the ability Torrent and the hidden ability Swift Swim. These are fairly standard abilities and stats for a water-type starter, but I wanted to keep it in line with all the other starters, so I think this makes sense. Overall, I really like how this design looks. I especially like how the front legs are quite chunky. What do you think? After Fillyshore, I started to design the evolution of this Pokemon, and the second form of this Pokemon line is Kelpmare. Kelpmare gains the Dark type, jaded by the malevolence it has witnessed. Kelpmare lives a solitary existence in the depths of a secluded lake, suspicious of any intruders. It launches fierce attacks against those who approach. However, if a trustworthy trainer crosses its path, Kelpmare's heart softens, forming an unbreakable bond with them, a rare connection born from shared understanding. Kelpmare gains the Dark type, reflecting how humans have impacted it. Kelpmare's name comes from kelp, like seaweed, and mare, like a horse. I didn't want this design to break too far from the first evolution, so I just pushed its features a little more, enhancing its tail, fins, and mane, as well as giving it a few more markings to add an extra layer of detail, and buffing up its form so that it looks less cute and cuddly, although still has that Pokemon charm. The hidden ability of Kelpmare switches to Dark Aura to reflect its new personality. This Pokemon's stats focus on special attack and speed, and now its base stats have risen to 410. At this point, this Pokemon finally evolves into Kelpempress, the Water Dark type. Kelpempress remains elusive, revealing itself only to those with pure intentions. If you encounter this Pokemon in the wild, consider it a sign of your sincerity, but beware. Kelpempress is also a harsh judge of character. Should it sense malice, it drags the malevolent soul into the shadows, submerging them in the lake's depths. A stern reminder that negative intentions cannot hide from this Pokemon. Kelpempress's name comes from kelp, like seaweed, and empress. Kelpempress remains a water dark type and maintains the hidden ability Dark Aura. Its base stats have risen to 530, which isn't the highest, although its stats are extremely focused on special attack and speed. While maintaining the overall design of this Pokemon, I elongated its design, making it more elegant and harshening its eyes to make it stand out more as a harsh judge of character. This Pokemon is also quite large. I really like the shiny form for this Pokemon. I think the white and the purple go together really well, but please let me know what you think of this water-type Pokemon line in the comments. Before we look at the second starter, I want to take a moment to thank you all for watching so far, and I want to encourage you to like and subscribe if you're enjoying the video or my design so far, and leave a comment if you have any requests or feedback on my designs or video. Thanks. Moving swiftly on to the grass-type starter I designed, we have Fionach, the grape bunny Pokemon. It captivates everyone with its adorable appearance. Its ears bear delicious succulent berries that attract other Pokemon. Rattata and Zigzagoon can often be seen nibbling on these tasty treats, creating a playful interaction between Fionach and other Pokemon in the wild. For this design, I wanted to go with something a little more cute. So I started out with a bunny and decided to work in some kind of berries. From that I came up with the name for this Pokemon, Fionach, which comes from the Scottish Gaelic Fion for wine, and Coinanach, which is the Scottish Gaelic for rabbit. Fionach has the abilities Overgrow and the hidden ability Chlorophyll. Its base stats are 265, and it's fairly balanced in its stats at this point. When I was making this design, I wanted the ears to be the main focus of the character, so I made them very big and floppy, which I think adds a lot of cuteness to the design. And moving on, this Pokemon evolves into Fionanach. Fionanach exudes playfulness. Its bushy coat serves as a cozy resting spot for small Pokemon seeking a nap. Whether it's a tiny Pidgey or a drowsy Baneri, they find comfort in curling up on Fionanach's soft fur. Fionanach's abilities are still Overgrow with a hidden ability Chlorophyll, though its base stats are now 370. As you can see, it's still got very balanced stats, and it is a mixed attacker. This Pokemon's gentle nature makes it a cherished friend in the meadows and by trainers alike. When I was designing this character, I wanted to emphasize the playfulness and cheeriness of this Pokemon and how it's a happy companion to anyone who trains it. I pushed the design a bit more, adding a few more berries and pushing the swirly, fluffy patterns in the design. I wanted the shinies for this line to have a kind of autumn appearance, although you will notice in the final evolution that changes a little bit. And speaking of the final evolution of this Pokemon line, we have Fioniche. Fioniche dances gracefully through sun-kissed meadows, leaving a trail of ripe berries in its wake. Its movements scatter seeds, ensuring new life sprouts wherever it treads, and fertilizing the soil, allowing other Pokemon and plants to thrive wherever this Pokemon lives. Fioniche embodies the cycle of growth and abundance, a symbol of harmony between Pokemon and nature. Any trainer who has one of these as a companion is sure to be happy with this Pokemon's cheerful aura. Fioniche has the abilities Overgrow and now has the hidden ability Solar Power. This changes up how it plays a bit. Its base stats are now 510, which is fairly low for a starter, however it is still a mixed attacker. I really like this design, and I kind of really enjoy the jumpsuit kind of fluff on this character's design. But please let me know what you think, and what do you think of the shiny for this one? I personally love the lavender. Now, let's move on to the final starter, the fire type. We have Fawnash. Fawnash is a selfless protector of the forest. During fires, it scours the forest floor, guiding smaller Pokemon to safety. Its body absorbs heat, creating a cool zone where other Pokemon can find refuge. Fawnash's nurturing spirit makes it a beacon of hope in times of crisis. When designing this Pokemon, I based it off of a young deer. That's where its name comes from. Fawn, like a young deer, and Ash, like fire. Its abilities are Blaze, with a hidden ability Flash Fire. Its base stats are 285, with a slight focus on attack. I gave it firefighter-like markings to convey its nature, where it likes to rescue and protect other Pokemon, and this also alludes to its evolutions. Speaking of its evolutions, we have Pyrestag. Pyrestag is fueled by determination. When forest fires rage, it dashes through the flames, tirelessly searching for injured Pokemon in need of rescue. But Pyrestag doesn't stop there. It also seeks out the fire's source, battling to extinguish it. Its courage and strength inspire others to fight alongside it. This Pokemon lets out a cry whenever it finds a nearby injured Pokemon to alert nearby Fawnash to help them guide them to safety. Pyrestag gains the Fighting type, making it a firefighting Pokemon. Its abilities are Blaze and Flash Fire as a hidden ability. Its base stats are now 415, with a focus on attack. Pyrestag's name comes from pyre, like fire, and stag, like a deer. I've tried to maintain the deer-like appearance of this Pokemon, with hooves and hoof-like hands. I've pushed the markings a bit more to emphasize the firefighting while keeping the burnt bark on the antlers. And finally, this Pokemon evolves into Brigadeer. Brigadeer embodies the essence of heroism. It senses disturbances in the forest through the flames themselves, detecting danger to both Pokemon and people with unwavering resolve. Brigadeer rushes to the scene, leading the charge against the disaster. Its fiery intuition and protective instincts make it a true guardian of the wild. Brigadeer's name comes from brigade, like fire brigade, and deer. Brigadeer keeps the fire/fighting type, and has the abilities Blaze and Flash Fire as a hidden ability. Its base stats are now 575, with a focus on attack and defense. When designing this Pokemon, I wanted to push the rescuer vibe, so I gave it this helping hand kind of kneeling down pose with a strong body. I further pushed its firefighter markings, and it has its protective antlers on its head made of burnt ash bark. Overall, I think I did quite well with this design. What do you think? Please let me know. And that's it for all of the designs in this video. Please let me know if you enjoyed, and remember to like and subscribe if you did. I have a Discord channel where I'm building a strong community. There's already a few people in there. In anticipation of getting 500 subscribers, I'm going to be holding an event where I redraw or redesign your Fakemon designs. And if you want to be part of that, then please join my Discord channel. There's an event channel in there specifically for this event where you can post your designs and I will choose some of them to redesign. I also have a Patreon now. Although I'm not expecting anyone to join it, I'll be posting sneak peeks at future videos. And I'll be running special polls where you can vote on the themes of future videos. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I've been Sasha. This is Sarah Art. See you next time. Bye!